A few weeks ago, I highlighted a few budget wild decks for my wild enjoyers, and I got a very common question of what would I recommend for standard. And I don't have as many decks as I had for wild as recommendations. I only have one today, but the deck that I want to highlight is a very good one, and that would be Beast Hunter. Because the topic of the hour is budget, let's go over just how cheap this deck is. So you may see that there is a legendary minion City Chief Esho. This is a 6 mana 5/7 with a battle cry. If every minion in your deck shares a minion type, give your other minions +2/+2 wherever they are. Now this is an incredibly powerful effect, and I highly recommend that you run this card. But the positive side is that this legendary is completely free if you get to level 20 of this current rewards track. So the only legendary is free, but I do have to mention that there are a few epics hanging around that do make this deck more expensive, so let's go over those real quick. So Supreme Dinomancy is kind of what this deck is built around. It's a 5 mana spell that gives +2/+2 to all beasts in your hand, deck, and battlefield. So this is effectively copies 2 and 3 of City Chief Esho. So we're running a lot of buffing effects between these two cards. So I do think Beast Hunter does unfortunately need this epic, and it also needs RC Rampage. This is an incredibly powerful board filling tool. It's a 4 mana spell that summons 6 1/1 hounds. Any that can't fit, give the others +1/+1. So we're trying to go real wide with this deck, and you can't get much more of a wide board than RC Rampage. And for the third and final epic, we have a single copy of Ancient Raptor. Ancient Raptor is a 2 mana 2/1 with a battle cry of choose to gain +3 attack, Divine Shield, or Death Rattle summon 2 1/1 plants. Again, this card is incredibly powerful, but of the 3 epics that I just outlined, this one is probably the most replaceable. Maybe let's replace it with another random low-cost beast or some sort of direct face damage spell. That could be good, but I would maybe consider not running additional spell because we do run fetch, and that might dilute how often that we can get Supreme Dinomancy off of this card here. But outside of the free legendary and those 3 epic cards, the rest of the deck is just a lot of commons, rares, and many of these cards I believe are also free, much like City Chief Esho. So this deck will not cost as much as many other of the top tier decks. And I mention other top tier decks because Beast Hunter is frankly a top tier deck. It produces a very high win rate. I think I went about an 88% win rate out of 8 games, so not the highest sample size, but I had an absolute blast playing this deck. It can produce some very terrifying boards very early, and if you are interested in that kind of playstyle, I'm going to leave the deck code down in the description, and if you enjoy Hearthstone content like this, please consider subscribing. It would help out the channel a ton. Anyway, let's jump into the games. Another Warlock.
Clear the stage.
Let the hunt begin.
Between Wild and Standard, it just feels like you're just always playing against Warlock. And I'm not saying it's because Cursed Catacombs is a busted card that should be nerfed into the ground. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying 0 mana draw a card that also kind of tutors at the same time is not balanced. I'm not saying that at all. If you say that, you're wrong. But that card is kind of busted and unbalanced. In my opinion, you know, for what that's worth. Let's play a Jewel Macaw, huh? Might as well. Not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. There's the quest. Everyone's favorite. Jeweled Macaw again? No. We just play this for 1 bonus effect, call it a day. But yeah, I don't think Cursed Catacombs is long for this world as it currently is. I could see it going up to 1 mana and probably being kind of playable. But at the same time, maybe not. The next beast you play this turn costs 2 less. Or I could just develop a weapon. I don't think they're going to have a shortage of minions for me to cower in fear. And also cower in fear in to Tigress plushie could be pretty neat. Do you play Battlegrounds? I have in the past. Have not played much this season. But if that's something people are interested in, you know, if people want to see me play Battlegrounds at like a mediocre level, then I mean, I might be your guy. If you're into mediocre Battlegrounds gameplay, this is your guy right here. You can see me like bumble around with like what trinkets to pick, and it could be a good time. Maybe I can do a Battleground stream and, you know, test the waters. Because as we know, I'm not sure if anybody saw the Clark Hellscream video, putting all your eggs in one basket is tough to do. Hearthstone is it's a game that fluctuates a lot. And when it's in a bad place, it's hard to justify it's hard to justify watching Hearthstone sometimes if Hearthstone's in a bad place. Maybe I should just ran out Tigress plushie bumped, but at the same time I could just throw out another weapon. Just keep the hits coming. I'm not a BG fan, but I'd watch you play it for sure, for sure. Okay, Zeal, I hear you, I hear you. I've heard that testament a lot, which makes me, like, really happy that, like, people are just here to vibe and have a good time. It doesn't, like, really matter what I play, and honestly, I've noticed that. Between, like, Standard and Wild, I feel like people just kind of want to watch Hearthstone. So, like, the format doesn't matter much. And I wonder if that also translates to Battlegrounds. Yeah, because I know Battlegrounds is a much more popular format than like Standard or Wild. Like, if you look at the stream numbers, it's insane how much viewers, like the top Battlegrounds players, get. But that being said, I would be very far away from the best Battlegrounds players.
Never see us coming. Never see us coming.
Okay, okay. One secretly dies when it takes damage. I hear that. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Okay. If your hero attacked this turn... Or give your hero attack 5 attack this turn. Gotcha, that could be a nice little bit of burst. So let's test the waters. Let's see... Actually, let's play... Oh, this is tough. How about we go to this one secretly? No. Cool. So we'll do this... into Tigress plushie, into Tigress plushie. This one secretly dies. Okay, cool, cool, cool. And we'll crash in for a little bit more. Do I play any other games? I messed around with Balatro a little bit. I was considering streaming that for a second, and I may revisit that in the future. It feels like Balatro is kind of just a game has like a lot of staying power. Seems like people like really vibe with that game even still, which I'm kind of surprised about. Like the game's fantastic, of course, but I am very much surprised people are still messing with it today. Let's go Jungle Gym. And I'm going to do something weird. I'm not sure if this is the correct play. But I am going to trade this off. And I'm going to clean up this fella. And also play that fella. And we'll see if Jungle Gym can clean all this up. Crash in and end it with a nice little hero power. Do I play with viewers? I've been debating on it. I kind of like the idea of like playing against viewers. There's actually a new format coming up here soon that people are throwing a tournament for proper Hearthstone. So it's all commons. And that format looks pretty interesting. So I'm kind of exploring that idea to see if I want to see how the format pans out potentially. But I think it could be interesting, especially like since I favor budget decks, like highlighting something like a pauper format could be kind of cool. So next turn I have the Queen, which can deal with the front half of this. Could be a twist format. What is twist? Quick question, what's twist? The people want to know. And we will crunch into there. 8 damage up at the noggin. And it turns out this is exact lethal. Okay. Okay. Nice. Taken down Quest Warlock. Even though they drew the busted card that I was belly aching about at the beginning of the game. But that's okay. Ooh, a warrior. How can my aggressive deck fare against a control class? It's a good question. Remote control is one of the best cards in the deck. Esho is the most expensive card in my deck. And I have a Workhorse. These all feel like really high impact minions. Maybe Workhorse less so. I don't know. Whenever I play Workhorse, it feels turbo busted. Let's keep Workhorse. Do I have monetization on my channel? I do. I do. I crossed the 1,000 subscriber threshold. When was it? About like 2 or 3 months ago, I think. And that was like the threshold that like took me forever to cross because like Hearthstone is not as popular as it used to be. I mean, I had like watch hours down super quickly. If you don't know, you need, I believe it's 4,000 watch hours within a year and 1,000 subscribers to be monetized on YouTube. And I hear a lot of people, they struggle mostly when it comes to monetization to watch hours. But because my videos are usually like, excuse me, you play a barricade basher? Fair enough. Whenever you gain armor, get +2/+2. Okay. Do I think I try to high roll and maybe get poisoned to take care of this thing. Or I could fetch and maybe get a Cower in Fear. Jeweled Macaw and a Supreme Dinomancy. Okay, I'll spend my coin and try to high roll some poison. Maybe Divine Shield. We did not high roll. We got all evasive. I'm going to keep my minions out. Especially with Supreme Dinomancy. I want to keep them out. Your loner decks did well. Your loner deck videos do well. They do. They do. And that's a good call out, Zeal. They're kind of fun to make. I know a lot of people find them very helpful. And like the videos that do really well for me are my number one, my GOAT of a video is how to make more dust and gold. That one is by far my highest performing video. And then the loner deck videos. So I should probably explore doing more of those loner deck styles of videos. RC Rampage probably is the move. But I'm going to bump in first because I want to keep a wide board for Supreme Dinomancy. Call it a day. If they have Chemical Spill into the big boy, the game is pretty much over, but there's only so much you can do about that. Okay, wait a minute, I'm cooking. We might be cooking. Get the Dinomancy going. Take 20. Sure, whatever. And yeah, so I think those styles of decks that's like, here's what to do in Hearthstone, and here's like the best decision in Hearthstone with like how to make more dust and gold and loner deck videos. It makes sense that those are the highest performing. The loner deck videos are very helpful. Yeah, so I should probably do them a little bit more. Yeah. You're right, you're right. Fine, fine. Yeah, but that is a good call out. I think those videos doing well is no surprise at all. And they are pretty fun to make. And I'm not sure if it's like allowed. I'm not sure if that's allowed, honestly. Okay, so Painted Canvasaur could deal with that guy. And a Shield Slam. Okay. So if I roll Poison, I win. So let's just roll Poison. Thoughts? Opinions? Ooh. Mother Duck into Poison? Let's think about this. So, Supreme Dinomancy could do it as well. Yeah, let's do Mother Duck. I know I need to, like, go into it, but I want to have more of a chance to roll Poison on these 1/1s. Naturally. That stinks. So let's bash in there. Bash in there. Oh, this is not ideal. This is definitely what we would call not ideal. And we will, I guess, buff up this guy. Can you make a video with Quest Hunter? I think I opened the quest, the Hunter quest, not too long ago. So that could be a good idea. I did get absolutely bodied by a Quest Hunter today, actually. Ooh, hold up. Hold the phone. Wait, do I do Ursol Supreme Dinomancy? Before I start cooking too much. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 25. I'll just do the safe lane play. I'll just slay my opponent now. Oh well. But could you imagine Ursel with 3 Supreme Dinomancers? How could I ever lose if I did that? Maybe some other day. Alright, Demon Hunter. Let's just keep playing against the Demon Hunter class. So I've played 6 games so far. This is my 7th game, and this is my 3rd Demon Hunter. So almost half of the matches today have been against Demon Hunter. Demon Hunters and Warlocks. That's what we got to play against. Ooh. And Dreambound Raptor. End the turn. Did I play the 2-class brawl? I had a Paladin Warrior deck that did Replicating Spores, Ursol, Dwarf Planet, Crusader Aura. Holy smokes. That's a brew. The deck that I played, unfortunately the most, was Imbue, Druid, and Mage. I was a filthy tryhard in that brawl. That deck was unfair. And I think a lot of people speculated that 2-class Tavern Brawl was going to eventually become a Tavern Brawl. And I think that might still be the case. But they definitely need to ban the guy that imbues your hero power whenever you cast 2 spells, the Druid Legendary. Definitely do not recommend that brawl being a thing with that card still looking like that. And my opponent is going to crash in for just a tad bit of damage. But yeah, if they ever bring Twist back, it's gonna be because of that format. And I think everybody kind of wants it. And we'll crash into that guy. And we will call it a day. But yeah, I think everybody wants the dual class Tavern Brawl to actually be a Twist season. And I'm sure Blizzard has data on like what did well during that Tavern Brawl. Ooh, my opponent is an aggressive gamer. Cool. So my RC Rampage is going to go a little crazy. Yeah, I'm just going to go really tall. Yeah, with some 5/5s. Cool. So we'll crash into there, crash into there, swing 2 at their head, call it a day. So the reason I was prioritized making these guys really big is because they have hot coals. And if you have things that are above 4 power, you can take care of them pretty easily. And they are just going to keep going face, surprisingly. Okay. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 23. So I do think I need Lifesteal or Taunt. Wouldn't be bad. Platy? No. Wind Fury. So that's 20. Do I just have lethal? I think this is... I'm the best. Just the best gamer you've ever seen in your life. A skilled gamer always rolls Wind Fury on those two guys. I saw it from the beginning. You saw me say hey, the RC Rampage should go tall. I meant to continue saying because they always get Wind Fury. Obviously. So Paladin will likely be our last opponent. It'd be very fitting if this was aggro Paladin, because that's what I started the stream with, and I quickly got off of it because this deck just seems so much better. Do I keep Dinomancy? No shot. There's no way I keep that. Yeah, this seems like a much more responsible keep. We're diving. We're diving into the depths. Let's just get it going. Let's coin it out. Why mess around? So next turn, probably smack into whatever Murloc they play and Jungle Gym. Hopefully they play the 2-mana 2-1 with a 1-1. Submerged map found a 1-drop. My opponent is officially cheating. You hate to see it. Jeweled Macaw will be a great play for next turn. And Jungle Gym always deals with their 1-1 perfection. And we are setting up for a very nice RC Rampage for turn 4. Good old Mermy has blessed my screen. And a 2-2. Ooh, Workhorse. Or a Jeweled Macaw. Plus Ancient Raptor. I think it's just Raptor. For some plants. Probably should have played Jeweled Macaw first just to see what I got off of it. Okay. Staggered Eye, this is the first time I've ever seen this card in my life. I am going to just prioritize hitting them in their noggin, because I think that they are going to take the role of control player in this matchup. Definitely with that, they are going to play a little bit of control. Taking care of my dudes. And RC Rampage, they did correctly take care of my little robot guys. Now the question is, do I trade off one of these to make more room for little robot guys? And I think the answer is yes. So I can make them into 2/2s and also make more room for Jungle Gym. Yeah, that seems responsible. So we have a full board of little robot dogs. Just crack open my location and dish for a little bit of damage. So of course we are hoping for Supreme Dinomancy or Patchwork Pals. Cup of Muscle. Okay. Cup of Muscle into Gnawing Green Fin. into a 3/4. Okay, okay. Into a adaptive. Shepherd's Crook. I think I'm just playing the Workhorse and hero powering and just completely ignoring what they're doing. They don't have much in the way of healing. So a Shepherd's Crook and a hero power should be enough to clean them up next turn if I have anything remaining. Plucky, okay. And I don't believe... Ooh, a little interesting order from my opponent to give me an additional pony there. But I don't think it ultimately mattered. Because I would have these two, this one, and this pony. So that's plenty to clean up my Quest Paladin opponent. Cool. Insane string of games. Played 8 games, and my record is 7-1. So immaculate 88% win rate with Beast Hunter.